Have you ever analyzed the pros and cons of eating the meat that you bought from the grocery store? If anyone ever asked you, how do the meats like chicken, fish, and beef get into grocery stores? You would probably answer by saying the meats was deprived from the animals' bodies and packaged in factories, which is a process called industrial farming. Industrial farming is a topic that people argue whether or not is a bad thing to animals. There is a better argument that explains why industrial farming is not a harmful process to animals. Hi, my name is Brandon Cooler, and I will be arguing on behalf of philosopher Tom Reagan's idea that industrial farming is not a harmful process to animals regarding the facts that animals themselves are not morally conscious and physically harming and morally harming animals are not the same. The two main points that I will be using in my argument are causing misfortune to animals is not morally wronging them, and killing animals is not bad for animals in a moral sense. Now, speaking of my main points for my argument, let's get straight down to the first main point, which is causing misfortune to animals is not morally wronging them. Now, when I mean causing misfortune, I specifically mean inflicting pain on animals themselves. Now, people will ask, what's the difference between inflicting pain on animals as opposed to inflicting pain on humans? Well, the difference is this. The difference is the reason why inflicting pain on humans is morally bad as opposed to animals is because unlike animals, us humans live with ethics that shape our character for the rest of our life. And the last statement I just made leads up to the second part of my first main point of my argument. Animals themselves are not morally conscious. And the reason to that is if animals were morally conscious, that means they wouldn't be trying to bring harm to other humans for food or because of the fact that they may be natural enemies to one another, such as, let's just say, a mongoose to a cobra. And, other examples, such as why do dogs chase cats? Why do cats chase mouses and rats? And why are some snakes very aggressive to humans? Those are three great examples that explain the moral consciousness of some animals. Now, let's get to my second point. Killing animals is not bad for animals in a moral sense. Now, some people will argue that taking an animal's life would mean taking away their opportunity of having a good future or living a good life. And the reason why this is not a morally wrong deed to do is, unlike us humans, animals lack their psychological connections to their future plans. And they also lack, psychological processes that focus on how what I what I do now will affect what I do later. Which is some good qualities that some humans like us, like me, have. And the reason why they, lack that psychological connection, the process, is they lack the mental sophistication that us humans have. Now, in conclusion, my argument is to inform people that industrial farming is not a bad process, and it should be a process that continues for years to come. And my main points that I used in my argument were, again, causing misfortune to animals is not morally wrong in them, because since they're not morally conscious, if they're not morally conscious, there's nothing wrong with actually, physically harming them. I mean, unless if you're physically harming animals to, diminish the quality of your character, which can be a bad thing. If you're, if it's physically trying to hurt humans other than food or another benefit, then yes, that would be considered a bad thing. And my other main point that I used in my argument was killing animals is not a bad thing for animals in a moral sense, because since they lack the mental sophistication that us humans have, they don't, of course, they wouldn't have, the ability to focus on their future plans and future endeavors. And there is my argument as to why industrial farming is not harmful to animals. Thank you.